when you look at a histogram or a bar graph, that was already established and organized by people who took the numbers in the data and organized them so they can make this bar graph. But we don't actually know what the specific numbers there are. We know there's two numbers between 85 and 90, but we don't know what specific numbers they are. We just know there's two of them in this interval. Okay? So when we're given data, what we want to do is figure out how to organize the data so we can make a visual. All right, so this data comes from the Department of Transportation. It's 20 years old. I could have updated it, but we're just looking at numbers. And this represents, on average, how many miles does a person drive in a month who live in these states? That's what this data represents. On average, per person, how many miles do they drive per month for each state? And so some states, there's a lot more miles on average than other states. Now, the first thing you want to do when you decide how to organize this is find the largest and the smallest number. Okay, so go ahead and try to do that for a moment. I won't wait too long with this. And if anybody wants to say what the largest and smallest number is, which state has the largest and smallest? All right. North Carolina, right? So North Carolina is the smallest, NC. Okay, did anybody find the largest? I'm going to include you guys out in Zoom if you want to send a chat message. Okay, Jorge, you got it? No, it's not. I don't think it's Ohio. It's not Ohio. Same column. Look a little further. Yeah, you can see it's not easy to do. Our brains get overwhelmed by numbers. Tony, what you got?
Tennessee.
Tennessee, exactly. Tennessee is got the largest average miles. All right. So now, how are we going to organize our categories so we can make a bar graph? There's more sophisticated ways of doing that. We're not going to worry about that. We know we need to contain the most and the least of the numbers in that data set. And do we go by tens? Right here we went by fives. Do we go by 20s, 25, 100? There could be a choice that you make. We're going to go by 50s. Okay, so we need to start with a number that will be less than this and end with a number that will be greater than this. All right, I'm just going to tell you guys what to do. So let's go ahead and start at 250 and add 50 on the way down. So I'm going to add 50. And here I'm going to stop because if we add 50 again, that'll give us a number greater than the largest number we have. So instead, I'll make that adding a 50 the last number in this interval. Okay, now what we're going to do is go back and we're going to go back and put the second numbers in. The second numbers is always a one less than the next one. So 250 to 299, and then we go to 300. 300 to to 349, and then we go to 350. 350 to 399, and then we go to 400. Right, so just one number back from the next number in the interval. So 400 to 449, and then we go to 450. 450 to 499, and then we go to 500, and then 500 to 549, and then we go to 550. Okay? Now these numbers have decimals, so just ignore the decimal. It's irrelevant for how we're organizing. So only worry about the ones placed. Ignore the decimal. It's unimportant when we're organizing the data. Okay, so what you want to do now is you want to go ahead and make little tick marks, little tally marks. Right? Now, when you get to the fourth number and you want to do the fifth, we draw a little horizontal line through it. All right, the reason we do that, when you look at a whole bunch of vertical lines, it's hard to count how many there are. And we get overwhelmed, and we probably going to miscount. All right, I'll tell you there's 11 here. So it's going to be hard to look at that and get 11. However, if you use little vertical bars, we can easily see that's 11. So why we do that. Okay, so your goal now is to go through that list and make tally marks where the numbers occur in each of these intervals.